Hi and welcome to JK Adventure. Today we're going to be talking about those times when you get junk in between your tire and the rim from airing down to low PSI in the four-wheeling. Today we're going to look at getting a big tire like this off of the bead. And of course, if you're four-wheeling and not in a driveway like I am, we always recommend that you take the spare tire off and replace the tire that's in distress with your spare so that your Jeep can actually stand on its own 4 feet and there isn't any risk of the Jeep falling while you're on the trail. So once you have your spare tire on, you need to get your high lift jack out. You want it to be perpendicular with the Jeep's rock rail, and that is really important. If you have the high lift jack tilted out or in, it could slip off and cause damage. And next, you want the base of the high lift jack to be right at the edge here of the wheel, so that when you're pressing down, it's as close to it as possible, but not touching it. Before doing that, we always want to let all of the air out of the tire. It doesn't have already that much in it already, so it can only take a minute. And away we go. As you can see, I just kept pushing. There's a lot of resistance, but eventually it'll pop off the bead, and you're able to then get the rest off just by popping on it or so. And the tire is totally off the bead. You're going to look around, feel around. There's a lot of junk in here that I can clean out. I usually use a flat blade screwdriver and a rag. Just try to get all the junk out, put the rag underneath, try to minimize the amount of junk that actually gets into the rim. Alright, once you've cleared all the junk around the rim, it's time to take the high lift jack off, fill the tire back up with air, and reseat it on the bead. Sometimes, if your high lift jack has been setting for a while, when you release it to let it down, it sticks. So I always carry some WD-40 with me, give it a good spray. It usually works pretty good. One last thing before refilling up the tire with air. If you have an air nozzle with air compressor or CO2 tank that you have on the trail with you, it's always a good idea to kind of blow around the edges, pushing down on the beads so that the tire will get clear of all the dirt surrounding it. Last thing you want to do is get it all filled up and you find you still have a leak. At this point, all I'm going to do is attach my air nozzle and fill it up to about 30 psi. Should do about the trick. Normally that does the trick. Sometimes you have to go a little higher. Alright, once we're all hooked up, we should just be able to turn our air source on. And if it keeps leaking as it's going, you can lift up on the tire around it until it kind of catches the bead, and then make sure you stay clear of the tire and the rim. You don't want to get your hands caught in between. The popping noise that you'll hear is normal. That's just the tire reseating to the rim. Once you're done filling your tire, it's always good practice to take a little water and run it around the rim. See if you see any bubbles. Make sure that the leak is no longer there. Once you've ensured that the leak is no longer there, you're free to go ahead and reinstall the tire onto your vehicle and get back to wheeling.